I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis. Today we're going to talk about FPV Celebrity and some other news that's happening in our hobby. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Sometimes I go on Facebook and I see different threads happening over in Rotor Riot and in the Mini Quad Club. If you're on Facebook, you should definitely join both those groups because there's a lot of chat in there and there's actually some pretty good stuff in some of those groups. And every once in a while I see some guys start talking about different YouTubers, and that's cool because there is sort of a collective of YouTubers out there that kind of consistently make videos for our hobby. One of the newest and latest and greatest stuff that's coming out. There's a ton of new stuff that's coming out, and as you notice, sometimes my benches are pretty piled up back there with projects. I usually have 4 or 5 projects going on at once, and sometimes it can be overwhelming to actually just stay ahead of the game, and most of the time I'm usually behind like most other YouTubers are. When you get to a certain level, just boxes keep coming and stuff starts to pile up, and it's really hard to stay on top of everything. So you have to be really consistent each day when you're making videos, sort of building and testing. Sometimes you have to do a complete build, which you have very little time for, and sometimes you just get stuff that's broken right away. I've plugged stuff in and had stuff short out right from the factory. So we do a lot of behind the scenes diagnosis sometimes to just get something working so that we can actually review it. Now, usually when that does happen, I usually let you guys know about it. So it's a pretty tough job to keep up with all this and all the emails and the cleanup. I mean, I sometimes find myself cleaning up things at 11:30 at night when I'm walking around in the shop, or constantly checking on batteries, making sure they're charging right. Sometimes I've had batteries erupt and go up in flames right there on the bench. So I'm constantly having to do something related to my YouTube channel. And it's definitely a lot of work. I wouldn't say I'm lucky, I would say that I'm driven and that I'm just constantly, consistently doing something to make sure that this keeps going for you guys. And also it's something that I enjoy doing. So it's a process that I enjoy. I like to start up a project, work on it, and then finish it up and move on to the next thing. And I really enjoy that whole process. It's not really the end result of pushing publish on YouTube to set a new video out and try to get the most clicks or views on that video. Mostly it's about the entire process during my day that is so much fun. Unboxing something for the first time, seeing it, taking it out of the box, and just looking at all the parts and components. Because I was just thinking the other day that it's so crazy that every single quad that comes in my door, no matter which company it's from, they all fly different. And every single one of them can sometimes have different little quirks about them that we end up finding out in a short amount of time to let you guys know about it before you even make a purchase on it. Whether it's a prototype that was sent to me, I had one just the other day sent to me. The USB chip on the board was soldered on incorrectly, and it was soldered by hand, so it wouldn't actually connect to Betaflight. So little tiny things like that we have to figure out before we can do a review on some of the products that come in. So it's always a different challenge, and there's always a ghost in the machine that we have to figure out sometimes before we can even actually review something. It's kind of crazy. And honestly, every single YouTuber out there is always up against some kind of challenge when they're making a video, whether it's something to do with the camera, I forgot to bring an SD card, or it started raining on me. I mean, I've sat beside big fields waiting for the rain to stop in my car eating a sandwich, and most of you guys get a nice little lunch break during your job. You get an hour off to go do whatever you want during the day, whether it's go fly and eat a sandwich. I'm usually not taking a lunch break. I'm usually eating right here at the bench while I'm working on something for you guys. So I never really get sort of a free lunch break. But aside from all the work that goes into this, once you get to a certain level, there's a lot of judgment that happens. There's a collective of YouTubers out there, and some of the bigger channels and some of the smaller channels that are right around the same subscriber count. They get a lot of instantaneous judging of the person who's running the YouTube channel. And a lot of these guys are one-man bands like myself. Like, I'm trying to show you that it is definitely a lot of work behind the scenes. And just recently in one of the Facebook forums, you know, I did see some of that judging happening, and people are just really quick to say something about a certain YouTuber. And I think what it boils down to at the end of the day is that we're all just people, and some people like this guy and some people don't like that guy. And I understand you're not going to like everybody. Some people don't even like me for the way I wear my hat. But generally speaking, everybody is good. They say everybody's good, right? Everybody generally is pretty good. So, but most of the guys that got to a certain level on their YouTube channel, who are really just pumping out videos and trying to make fresh content on the regular, those guys, I would say that they all bring something different different to the table. And we've talked about this before. Some guys don't like this channel because this channel is too technical, or some people don't like this channel because this guy says everything is the best. It just depends on which side of the fence you're on. And sometimes people are quick to generalize your channel or generalize you as a person because of one certain video where you said this thing was the best or this thing wasn't. So honestly, I think all these guys that are working to make videos for you, they're all working pretty hard, and they are definitely burning some brain cells to be able to study and learn new things as our hobby progresses, because a lot of this technology that comes to us, sometimes it's us who sees it first before anybody else. And a lot of times, like I said, we're trying to figure out the ghost in the machine. We're trying to figure out how things work for you. So that's a pretty interesting process that we have to go through. It's a constant education on our part and trying to reiterate that back to the person watching the video. So it's a constant learning process. But becoming someone on YouTube that actually has a pretty big following is not really something that's going to happen overnight with just going out there with your quad and doing some crazy video like you try to fly over an airplane like this one dude did recently. And I've just got to say that that's gonna have to call you out on that. I'm not gonna mention your name, but I definitely wouldn't be flying with you. I would fly with pretty much a lot of other guys out there, but when people do stupid stuff like that, pretty much cut off my contacts list for good. I am not going to associate with people that do really dumb stuff with their quads. If that person did something stupid one time, it's probably likely that the person's done other really dumb stuff in their life. That's just the way it is with people. And I'm not going to mention his name, but I'm going to say don't be that guy. Don't be an asshole. Think about what you do before you go out and fly. Don't just try to go out there and do something crazy to try to be some kind of FPV celebrity. It's a really dumb idea because you could get that little knock at the door, and that's not going to be fun for you. But I think what's happening in our hobby is really exciting. There's always really cool new stuff coming out, and but generally what's happening out there in our hobby is really good for a lot of us, because a lot of these companies are really raising the bar for 2018. The first few months of 2018 have been really incredible. Companies like Team Black Sheep making this tiny long-range RX. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing over at Team Black Sheep, Trappy and all those guys. Furious FPV is just killing it with all the releases with an F-35 flight controller. It's just pretty much plug and play for your GPS style long-range flight controller wings. You've got people like HGLRC making amazing 20mm tiny brushless micro flight controllers and ESC VTX combos. Fatshark, Immersion RC, Catalyst Machine Works, Diatone with their R90 and their new quad that just came out. Fury B with some of their really awesome releases just recently. And these companies are trying on a daily basis to market research and pay attention to what we're saying here in the hobby. They really do actually listen to some of the YouTubers and what we say, because I say something on one video and the very next release, I'll see them make a change that we talked about in a previous video, which is really cool. So there's a lot of good stuff happening, and I think we're headed in a really cool direction for this year. And I'm really excited for even some of the bind and fly stuff that's coming out. From 2 years ago, there was usually a lot more soldering that you guys had to do. Pretty much nowadays you can get a bind and fly quad, you know, bind up your receiver and just go out and fly it. And a lot of times out of the factory, it has a decent tune on it already. And we keep trying to reiterate that we want these companies to pre-tune some of these flight controllers with this particular setup, because every single different quad frame motor combination and ESC combination has a different weight level to it and battery to weight power ratio, and it needs to be tuned differently. Also, the different props that they put on there. If you put a stock prop on there, you're gonna have to tune it to that prop. If you put a really nice high-end prop on there, you're gonna have to do a little less tuning on it. If it flies a little smoother, it's gonna cause less vibration in the accelerometer and the PIDs in general. That feedback loop is not gonna be as interrupted as it normally would, so therefore less PID tuning. The more interruptions you have of something off balance, even a prop being bent on your quad, is gonna cause negative feedback in that feedback PID loop that's occurring at light speed on your flight controller. But that's a whole different video. But I think overall what the companies and all the different reviewers are doing out there right now is actually pretty interesting. There's a lot of different angles on different channels, including my own. And I have my favorites, of course, and people always ask me, oh, do you like this guy or do you like this guy? And I say, well, I can really kind of watch this guy a little more than this guy, and that's just the way it is. And everybody brings something different to the table, and that's what I like about what's going on with the YouTube community for FPV and the RC hobby. There's different personalities for every different. I really do like the variety that's happening on YouTube right now. It's really interesting. So whatever YouTube channel you like out there, if you like the Drone Camps channel, if you like UAV Futures, if you like Joshua Bardwell, if you like Albert Kim or Andy RC, just support that person and let them know that you enjoy their channel, because little positive comments that happen during the day on our videos, that really helps us a lot to stay motivated and just keep producing new videos for you guys. There's usually more positive comments and likes than there are negative likes, and that just seems to be the way it goes with some of the larger channels out there, and otherwise there wouldn't be the support that we have. So I just want to say thanks for supporting my channel and being honest with me about my videos. And if you have any tips or suggestions to me, or you have any questions for me, please do feel free to post a question or comment below right down there. So just keep in mind, every single YouTuber you're watching out there is a person just like you are, and we just love to fly. So thanks again for watching. This has just been a little short informal discussion about FPV and FPV in general and some of the things that are happening out there. So thanks again for watching. I'm Justin Davis. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.